Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran. I got another hilarious build for you. This one is going to be with Arcane Mages, Giga Mastery, and utilizing some of the Legendaries, which in fact, Arcane Mage Legendaries, this build actually have gotten buffed. And boy, these buffs maybe are a little bit too big, but while we have the hilarious numbers and the damage, we might as well showcase you guys some of the things you can do right now in the beta that definitely needs to get balanced down. If you play in the beta right now, playing the Kyrian Covenant, at least in this current build, maybe Blizzard changes in the future, with Pelagos unlocked all the way through as your Soulbind, gives you a pretty big proc once using your Covenant Kyrian ability for 1000 mastery. It seems the mastery number is a little bit too high, so it ends up being too lucrative for a variety of classes, which lets us play the Arcane Mage Arcane Barrage build. The legendaries you could pair this together with, and I've tried a couple. The Arcane Harmony one is pretty good, where missiles increase the damage of an next barrage, stacking up to 100 times for 600% damage increase, which, for obvious reasons, seems really strong. But you could also go with the Execute Legendary if you're going to do Mythic Pluses and you're going to be spamming Arcane Explosion more than half the time, where Arcane Barrage will deal free 80% damage against targets below 35 health. This means every target that you hit is going to be hit by 80% extra, which also ends up being quite a bit of damage. Quite a lot of mages have been testing this out, and so far the numbers are very interesting. In application they can be decent, but also in the cheese they can be very hilarious. The general setup for this build is depending on the Lego you use. I'll be using the one where Arcane Missiles increases the damage of Barrage by quite a bit. You want to just Arcane Missiles the enemy until you have 100 stacks, which in a dungeon setting, if you gain the mastery buff early, the mastery buff in a dungeon right now will actually let you do quite a bit of decent damage, even just by spamming Arcane Missiles, even in AoE situations. That's just how broken it is right now. And once you stack up the buff for your Barrage, the rotation with the Kyrian Covenant is going to be all about trying to maximize that single target damage, kind of like the most damage in a single button press. I mean, there's multiple ways you can press it, and you can try to press it and play it as legitimately as you want to, with the proper rotation, proper playstyle, but for me, I'm kind of focusing on the cheese for this video. To show you guys exactly how much damage you can do in a single ability press, and if it crits, it could definitely be a lot higher. The setup that I'm going to go for in a one single target burst is go for Touch of the Magi into the Kyrian ability Radiant Spark. Use enough abilities in order to get to the 4 stacks of your Radiant Spark, and make sure that all your cooldowns are pressed for that one final barrage for the most amount of single target damage. Combined with a versatility trinket or two, this could be quite a lot of DPS. This combo is even more effective since Arcane Mages have a talent where Arcane Barrage will do more damage per target it hits, so the more targets are stacked together, the more maximum damage you can actually do in an AoE trash pack, which again makes this build even stronger for pure AoE. So if you want to try this on the beta right now, and you just want to mess around with it, please go right ahead. The more people that try this build and really show off just how broken it is, maybe the faster we can get certain of these aspects nerfed. Good thing the expansion has been pushed back, so these kind of issues can be ironed out. Arcane Infinity is a legendary that I have been using mostly with the stack and buff for Arcane Missiles and Arcane Bombardment. I feel like this legendary is actually not that bad in terms of what it does. It doesn't really have this much overpowered potential to it, in my opinion. I think given Arcane Mage is just a little bit more finishing damage is generally good. However, I would even argue arcane damage has at least improved, at least in the AoE department, compared to Battle for Azeroth. But maybe another run of the dungeons might be necessary to try this out for a bit more, since I've been mostly cheesing. If you want to try the cheesy build, especially if you're going for the missiles spam, Amplification is a really good option. I prefer Shimmer, but you can play whatever you like. Rune of Power I think is necessary for this massive update burst. Resonance is another talent you will need because Arcane Barrage will do more damage per enemy it hits, so of course it's really good. I like Arcane Orb just for the insta-cast, and of course Overpowered for the extra raw damage during your burst. And if you are in the beta, you can also combine this with a couple different trinkets. The one trinket I recommend right now is Flame of Battle. Hopefully Blizzard nerfs this trinket because this trinket will literally give you 1,211 versatility. This number sounds fairly okay if you want to use it maybe in BFA, but in Shadowlands, where we have at most versatility wise what I have 7 feet 5, that's because every single piece of gear is a PvP piece with versatility included in everything. That was a lot of versatility for me to commit. So getting free 1,211 versatility on top of all this mastery you get is also very, very busted. And go enjoy and have fun. I know this will probably end up making more arcane mages running around breaking the game, but the faster we can get the stuff nerfed on the beta, the better. It looks like this patch mostly broke things rather than actually made adjustments, so at least we should have some fun with it while we have it. I'll probably have some other builds or different mastery things that you can do just for the sake of hilarity in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see all of you in the next one.